1, take off!
Welcome everyone to CB16 Patch Notes. My name is Drybear. I'm joined
right
today
there.
by the one, the only, the fantastical Hi-rez Erez. We're looking at ourselves on the program screen across the way. We're going to be talking a little bit about CB16, which is coming up very shortly. Are you...
Somebody move the screen.
The screen?
See, because it's confusing me to have to look there.
Well, you're not supposed to look there.
Oh,
Do you want to see yourself that badly?
well,
I mean, you look great, but
really?
you have to take a break. If you see too much of yourself...
All right, who's ready? Who's ready? No, we don't want to introduce ourselves.
We already did.
We're the dudes.
We're the dudes. Dude 1 and Dude 2.
Paladin dude, Paladin dude.
That's right.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we're hopping into CB16. This is
Hey,
actually
wait,
slated for this
we can't,
week.
until we get at least 1,000 viewers, we can't tell them anything.
Okay, 349.
All right, so
651 to go.
You have any good jokes?
Good jokes. Good jokes. Not really, no.
Kind of dry on the jokes. Huh?
They'll dry, yeah.
All right. Maybe 500 then.
What?
Maybe 500.
500,
users.
okay. All right, let's see if we can
Tell
get
your
it up.
friends to get on. We got to do it.
We got 349. We got to
Tell
pick this up a bit.
Okay, let's.
Should we tell them about all the things we're not doing in this patch? That we in
Um,
future patches?
Yeah,
Should we spoil everything?
might as well.
I mean, I don't know if we should. I mean, 397 is still not enough to spoil that.
All right, let's go. For the people that are here, they're the true believers.
The true believers, the
And
champions of the realm are here.
They're the champions.
That's right.
And therefore, we're going to give them some good information that they will
Okay.
truly enjoy.
So we're revealing the sniper champion.
So we
Wait,
have-
no, that's not this patch.
Oh, that's next week.
Okay.
You guys are going to enjoy this patch, though.
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
Special patch, which is why I'm here.
It's more special because of a special guest.
Okay. All right. Well, wait. We're almost at 400. 400 will be good.
397.
400 will be good.
Where are the believers?
We need 3 more people to get online, and then we can start talking.
Just 3. They might even be here. It hasn't updated yet.
Yeah.
It's almost there. It'll give like a pulse, and then it'll update with the new.
You know, if
account.
everybody from our office actually watched this, we'd be at almost.
Probably, yeah.
We'd be at 300.
Probably.
So
Are we gonna fire them all?
I guess we only have 100 people that are not from the office that are actually watching this.
That would be the hope. That would be the hope.
397 hasn't moved.
It'll update in a second. You'll get there.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Okay, what's our first thing in the patch?
So the first thing in the patch is we have actually gone through and redone the card system.
I want to talk about that last.
Last. Okay. So we can switch over to a update to the beacon. That's a good thing to start
Yeah,
with.
show the beacon.
Okay, so the beacon itself, which go ahead and hop in game here. I'm going to hop into this. So the beacon, as I'm in queue now, I'm getting ready to hop into the match. The beacon changes are really just around making the gameplay a little bit more exciting, but also more competitive, right? So previously, the last patch, we made it so, you know, you can't pick it up and drop it down. It has health regenerating and
Are
stuff
they
like
showing
that.
the screen now?
Not yet.
Well, they should.
They should. Okay, show the screen.
Show the screen.
Screen is about to load off. You're going to miss it. So the beacon changes, we've kind of made it a little bit more accessible, but also more clear that you have it. Because previously you could pick it up on your mount. You don't really know if you had it or not. People would hold on to it forever and shoot you and kill you. So some of the changes we've made on the beacon is, number one, we've made the presentation a little bit cleaner, right? So we'll be able to show you.
Hey, by the way, that Ruckus gun looks a little different. Does it actually match his model now?
It matches the model.
Oh, wow.
So it's the same gun. And when I
First
do that,
and
it's,
third person are the
there you
same
go.
now.
and you actually notice too, there's actually, we've updated, so we've actually gone through a full polish pass on Ruckus. We've updated the sounds on his firing, the way his guns work, some of the effects as well, and just kind of cleaned him up to make him feel and sound a little bit better. The beacon here, if I pick this up, you'll see, I'm actually holding this in first person. And there's also areas that I can place the beacon, areas I can't place the beacon. It's very clear. This solves a couple issues. The first one is that if I could place it here, then characters like Grover and Fernando could not go through it. And so we've actually put in tech to make sure that the only placeable areas for the beacon are areas where everyone on your team, even the largest characters, can go through it. That solves that issue. This also, prevents you from getting into weird spots like up onto buildings and whatever else. This also makes it very clear that you have the beacon. But one thing you'll note, because you actually don't have a gun here, you can't fire when you're holding the beacon. You also can't use abilities. I'm pressing buttons to use my abilities here. I cannot do it.
We probably should X them on the UI.
We should X them out on the UI. That's a really good idea. The music is picking up in my ears right
What?
now. So what this will do is that if you're a beacon
Is
holder,
that
that
like
means you
trying
can't
to tell us
fight.
to hurry up or something?
Maybe. This is like the hurry up music. So while you're holding this, it means you can't fight back. So if you're going to be a beacon holder like a tank like Fernando, you can't fight while you're holding
Wait, why is the music so loud? I can't even hear you anymore.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this? There.
Okay.
It's there. And so, you know, this means that people can't hold on to it, kill you, place it down. Obviously, the previous patch we made it so the health regenerates over time. You can't pick it up, drop it down, put
Now,
it
can you
for
still
full
mount
health.
with it?
You can still mount with it. You'll still have it on. But the big thing is that, you know, you'll have to actually get off your mount to place it down. You see I just dropped it there by clicking.
So basically, if you were Eevee, for example,
Right.
and you wanted to go to the top of the building with the beacon,
Right.
that's not really viable anymore.
It is in certain spots, and we're still updating
Well,
that
no,
over
you
patches.
can't fly there. with
Yes,
the
you
beacon.
can't fly. That's correct. Yes.
So
So,
if you-
you
so
can't
if you
blink, you
can't-
can't fly.
If you can't reach it with a mount
Yes.
or walking,
You can't place it.
you can't place it, which means that everybody can get to the beacon
That's correct.
all the time.
That's right.
Because I know we had some issues with tournament play where people placed it in weird spots. And
That's right.
They have to make special rules for it, but now you don't.
Now you
have to
can't.
make a
You have to
special rule.
walk there or get on your mount. Now,
Okay.
I also want to show this. So you see how I can place it down. It takes 5 seconds to deploy, so it takes a little bit longer, and players can't teleport through it. But speaking of teleport, we actually improved the presentation of it, so it's a little bit clearer what it does. So the new players actually weren't grasping exactly what it did. So what we've done is we actually made it a portal now. Previously, what you had to do is you had to stand on it for 2 seconds, charge it up while you're on it, and then teleport. It's now an instant teleport. It functions just like a portal. And so that makes it easier to understand when it looks just like the portals here, so that behavior is already taught to players as they're learning to play. It just makes it a lot easier for new players to come in and go through it. But it also means you can go through it instantly, which means that you can get right to the fight. Now, if I went through this and there was a teammate behind me, there's 2 seconds where it's the same system. It takes 2 seconds before it'll actually become a portal again, so there's a downtime for it. But you can go through it instantly and get to the beacon, which is pretty cool. It's gonna die there. Oh, it's getting blocked. So one thing I want to show real quickly is the sounds of Ruckus. We've updated his arms to match his third-person presentation, but also updated the sounds. You'll hear it here. So updated sounds on that, and then also we also changed the distinction between the dual fire and the regular fire sounds. So this is the normal sound, and this is dual fire.
Sounds pretty good.
And we also updated the muzzle fire effects and just did a bunch of polish patches on him to make him feel a lot better and look a lot better. But since we're on Ruckus, we can show the coolest new thing that we have for Ruckus. Bulwark, Ruckus's old ultimate,
Yeah.
is no longer in the game.
Yeah.
We have replaced it with something a little different,
Yeah. A little more chickeny.
a little more chickeny.
Well, we made a lot of chickens,
That's right.
so now you have to kill the chickens.
It's a lot of chickens to kill, and how are you going to kill them?
How are you going to kill so many chickens at one time?
Well, let's see, Ruckus can single fire,
Right.
he can dual fire,
Right.
but what's better than that?
Triple fire.
That's not good enough.
Ha. Quad fire.
Can you do any more?
Damn.
More?
Hexafire?
We could do hexafire.
Yeah.
But what would that look like?
I don't know. It might be a little bit of a messy screen.
It could be. Oh, I can't. I'm going to have to...
It's going to have to kill you just to get his ult.
There it is. Okay. So you see with the icon, it is called hexafire. And so this is 1.
Can you
This is
upgrade
2.
the cards? So
Get
it's
rid of
out
it.
the way?
I'm already fully
Oh,
upgraded.
too bad.
Too late.
All right,
Already
so
there.
what happens if you ult now?
So this is left click. This is dual fire. And this
Bringing out the big guns.
is
Yeah!
hexafire.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so he pulls out 2 additional miniguns on top of the 2 he already has.
Bringing out the big guns.
And then pulls out 2 rocket launchers as well. And while you left click, you are rooted in place. And you shoot 4 miniguns and 2 rocket launchers all simultaneously.
Bringing
Yeah.
out the
For
big
reasons.
guns.
And so you can see the amount of fire you can create is incredible. The rockets will explode an area and deal AoE damage. And if someone is unlucky enough to be close to you, let's see how fast we can kill
Bringing
him.
out the big guns.
That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
But you have to be close and you can't.
Yeah, so you can see the spread on it is actually, so if I shoot really far away, they spread out a lot, and the rockets are all kind of random. They just shoot off in random directions. And so from far away, it's not as effective, but if you can get close to someone and transform, I mean, you can kill them in under a second. It's really, really powerful.
Who's Little Madness?
That is Maddie, Big Booty Ho.
Hey, Maddie. You can no longer type in the chat.
So that's dual fire, and the beacon changes, and some of the sound updates for Ruckus.
That is very cool.
It's very cool.
Now,
One of my favorites.
They mentioned something about a kill cam.
A kill cam?
I see Chad going.
No, you can't do kill cams in
They're
this
kill
game.
camming something.
You can't kill cam in this game.
Well, we should try. Maybe
Okay,
it
let's
works.
see. All right, hold on, let's see. All right, Cassie, kill me.
Please do something.
Or maybe I should kill her.
No, run away from Cassie.
I'll just kill her. I'll just kill her.
Well, does she have a kill cam?
Yeah, it's on her right now. So I'm just going like
Bringing
this.
out the big
Okay.
guns.
I killed her, and she's like, "Oh no, I died. How did I die?" Well, let's find out. There's
That's
a
how you
Ruckus
died.
shooting,
Oh!
and that's how you died.
That's how you died.
Now, one thing to mention, this is actually a first iteration on the kill cam system. We'll be rolling this out with the patch, and we will, have a few issues with it, I'm sure. The things we'll address very quickly. And also, if you have any bugs that you find, please
We'd
report
like
it
to
to us.
call this the beta kill
This is
cam.
the beta kill cam. This is
Beta
the
kill
beta
cam.
kill cam in the beta.
Yes.
That's right. So you'll be able to see what happened to you. You'll give that kind of feedback there. And also you see some cool things, right? I mean, you may not know what Ruckus looks like when he ults in first person with all the guns all over the screen, but you will be able to with the kill cam.
Yeah. Plus, if somebody's got a cool skin,
You'll see their
you're
weapon
going to
skin.
have to suffer and see that.
That's right. This also means that you can kind of taunt and do some fun things while you're killing people.
Now, if you don't want to watch the kill cam, can you get out of it?
Yeah, so the easiest way is to hit spacebar. That'll cancel the kill cam, bring you right back to your camera. So if I kill him really quick, and then you just press spacebar immediately when the kill cam starts, he'll cancel out of it, and then he won't have any issues with that.
Excellent.
So, boom, canceled, back into the camera.
All right, so the beta kill cam will
Beta
be in.
kill cam.
There will be some issues. I mean, there are some issues that we know, like if you die to a dot, you may just be wandering along and dying.
Watching someone just wander off as you're
Wander
dying in the
off,
corner. That's right.
Things of that nature. But
And
for
we
the most
we
part,
have no
it works.
UI support for it yet, so we want to do things like showing a big arrow over your head on which one's you from far away, and also clearly distinguish the difference between a kill cam versus a spectator, stuff like that.
Right.
There's not gonna be much UI there, but we really wanted to get this in first so everyone can experience it. And also, number one, it limits a little frustration because sometimes you don't know why you died,
Right.
and the kill cam will alleviate some of that.
All right, we're
which is
looking
very
forward to that.
helpful.
That should be fun. What else do we have?
So basically, Ruckus Ultimate and Beacon changes were the two big things, but what else could be bigger than that?
Don't tell me we're changing the card system again, because
I think we are.
oh my god, what's wrong with you people?
I don't know.
You people at Hi-rez are just a little bit.
We keep
crazy.
changing it, but I think this will bring back a lot of the fun elements that people liked about CB9 and CB10, some of the crazy fun card building systems.
Yeah.
So the first element is the fact that you won't have to pick your cards in the lobby anymore.
So
we tried it.
We know how everybody likes to spend a minute, 2 minutes in a lobby,
Right,
but we decided that might be a little long.
just a little bit.
So let's explain the theory about this form of card picking now.
Okay.
And some of the evolution behind it. So you have to remember that originally when we started the game, the theory was fewer champions
Yes,
with a lot of cards
Yes.
and a lot of randomization.
that's right.
But we found out a few issues with that. One is that by far the most overwhelming request that we had was for more champions.
New champions.
So if people want a lot of champions, that meant that we would do less cards
Right.
and more champions.
Correct.
And if we have more champions, we have to find various ways to balance them, and that led to a whole kind of transitional effect in the game
Sure.
as to where we were, what we're going to, and how to find that balance.
It's safe to say we've done basically every possible combination of card system,
Pretty much.
basically.
So the current card system, I think, builds on what we've currently done.
Yes.
So it's not being in match. You actually will not see a big difference.
Right.
But there are a few other elements to it to support it better.
Yes.
So you want to go over to the screen that shows.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring my screen
So
up
yeah,
here.
let's go to the screens and we'll go to the profile. Well, Vault. You want to do Vault?
Let's go to Vault and
first?
just notice.
Okay.
So one thing to mention, the Vault is now just for crafting and earning cards. Your collection, everything else, and your character-based stuff will be all in the profile. So Vault is really just to craft cards, craft skins, and then also loot chests to get that gear out of it.
And if you go to card crafting, right, they'll probably notice that although this box is being changed, because it's a little too big and confusing, there are common cards
Yes.
and there are class cards.
That's correct.
Right.
So the common cards are neutral cards, as they were before. It's those that have access to all characters in the game. And then the class cards will be uncommon through legendary. Then it makes it simple because it follows the rarity system. And so these cards will just be for the characters. So let's go ahead and hop over to the profile screen. This is where you kind of build your decks. Deck building is back into the game. So the two slots here are champion and common.
Right. So what we decided to do is move the common cards, which were very powerful, yet sometimes a little bit boring to
Yes.
level up,
Yes.
into their own section. So what you do now is you pick 5 common cards out of the set of common cards
Yes.
that you think you want to bring into the match. And you use that mostly to start your build out, to create counters and
Yes.
such, right? So you'll see that at the moment we have 3 slots
My
for-
aptly named Butts deck.
for different types of decks, right?
Yes.
And you can name the deck, and in the future we're looking to give you additional slots, but
Right.
for now we're starting with that. When you go and edit the deck, you will then see all the cards, all the common cards that are available
Right.
to use, and then you can say which of the 5 cards do you want to have in the deck.
in that common deck. And so this is just going to be a basic overall augmentation for your character. These do not level up, so these would be outside of the deck. So you'll have a 5-card common deck and a 5-card champion deck, so technically you're bringing 10 cards into the match.
Right.
But these are just passives, right? These have 1 flat stat, and you're combining things together. Stuff like
You do
exit
not
strategy.
level these up, right?
You do not level these up. These are 1 stat, just kind of like passive equipped cards. And so you can pick exit strategy, which has been split into 2 cards now. You exit combat faster, and you can get veteran, which makes you heal out of combat more. And so you combine these cards together. You can do stuff like, reduce the time it takes to get on your mount. You can charge your ult faster, move faster on your mount. You can reduce healing, counter deployables, counter shields, get lifesteal, increase your reload speed, cooldown of your abilities, increase more healing, stuff like that. And these are really just counter cards or supportive cards or cards that amplify your playstyle in some way and allow you to kind of augment things in a very passive manner. So you don't level these up. This is just a flat stat you get. You'll be able to kind of save your deck. So here's the process. You're going to pick these up. Say I want to travel faster on my mount and then gain more experience in match. And then I can rename this deck from Butts to Butt. Big change.
Yeah.
And then you can save the deck, and you have 3 decks to build. You see it on this deck, I've built a Shield Destroy deck, which allows me to kind of deal more damage to shields, destroy deployables, and move faster, stuff like that. I have a counter against low damage attacks, right? Any attack that is less than 75 damage, so stuff like Grok and Fernando, I'll reduce that by 25%. So it's anti-high attack speed characters.
Right.
And so that will be for the common decks. Now, like I said, you have 2 decks. You have the 5-card common deck, and then the deck you'll level up in match is going to be your champion-specific deck, which includes class-based cards that are uncommon through legendary.
And why don't we show them the Sky deck, because that has a few new cards in it.
It does. So when you go to a character, so on the profile, it's just a kind of a progression here. You go to champions list, you click on the character. Here you can see the skills, you can see your mastery level, and then how you are with the collection of cards. You go to the appearance area, which allows you to view weapon skins outside the match. You kind of see how things go, or you can just watch Sky saunter over to you over and over, which is kind of fun. And then you go over to decks here until you build your champion-specific decks. If you go to edit, you'll see that she has some new cards here. Your 3 legendaries are here. And the cool thing about this that's very different is you can mix any amount of cards that you want, except you can only have 1 legendary. So you can get
any
4
rarities
common,
now,
uncommons.
You're not forced having
That's right.
set. So a lot more flexibility. in
Pure
cards.
freedom, right? I mean, so I can only have 1 legendary, so take this off. I'm going to take these off. If I wanted to, I can get 4 commons or uncommons. There's no limitation there. I can get 3 uncommons and an epic. Or maybe I want 3 epics.
But really what you're trying to do is build a deck for the play style that you want.
That's right. So you can build a lot of synergy there, but this allows a lot of that creativity that we liked about the early stages of the deck building to combine cards in a unique way. But you can do cool things that you can mix together. So for example, we can do a stealth build. So I'll pick the legendary first. You only have 1 of them. They're very powerful. You want to have legendary in your deck. So you pick that. This still makes me deal damage out of stealth. And then I want to start amplifying stealth things. So let's say I pick up Cloak. It makes my stealth last longer. I can stealth on the mount. This thing's really cool. Spectre, when I enter into my smoke screen, I get a free stealth, which will help me combo with the surprise attack. It's actually one of my favorite builds from Sky. So this is a new card. So when I enter into my smoke screen, I will gain a stealth for a certain period of time, which will trigger the surprise attack. And then you can start combining other cards, right? So you look at things like, let's see, emergency exit. When you get low in health, you enter stealth.
That's
It's a
another
good one, right? Another free
good
stealth
way to
coming out.
proc it.
You can endure. It allows you to stay in stealth while taking damage for a lot longer. You could also get movement speed out of stealth. There's some really cool things you can do with this to bring it together. I'm going to go ahead and pick up endure. So now I have a full stealth build. And then I'm going to go ahead and name the deck too. It's kind of the beauty of it. This is my stealth deck. So it's kind of like that same feeling you get when you play a full card game, be able to create your own play style and combine cards together and have that fun with it. And then with the stipulation that you can only have 1 legendary.
Right.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Now, in playing this, so far I would say we've had the best time
Oh,
playing
it's so
this
much
new
fun.
patch. It's so much easier to understand
Yes,
and build, and it feels really good.
it does. It
And you
certainly
can
does.
create some really good builds. And I think one of the things that we're going to do with this is make sure that now we start supplementing each class with more cards
That's
to
right.
create all these interesting builds versus, trying to just be pure balance and restrict the number of
Right.
cards.
So the floodgates are open. You can build all kinds of crazy combinations like you could before. And then you notice that there's about 21 common cards in there. We're going to be adding probably 4 or 5 more in the next patch. Kind of get about 25, 26
There's
common
still a
cards.
good number of them. There's more
There's
than
a
enough
lot.
to sit there and contemplate
And you
what
can only
type
pick
of build.
5 out of 21. That's a
Yeah.
lot of combinations.
I know we sat down and we're spending a good amount of time just looking them over
Right.
and figuring out what kind of deck you want to
what
build.
stats you want, and some cool things in there. And then obviously when you have about 12 to 16 cards for your character, there's a lot of combinations of common and class you can kind of create. You can create your own play style. It's a lot of fun.
Now we should probably show them when you launch a match how you use those.
Sure. So I'll go ahead and just hop into a practice match here if you want to jump over to my screen. So one of the cool things about this is one of the biggest complaints is that it took a long time in the lobby. We've shortened this up, and then since you have your decks built before you go into the lobby, when you select a character, it's going to go pretty fast. So this time will actually slow down. There will be a lock-in button, which will cut that time down as well. But I lock in, it allows me to pick the decks. So I'm going to pick Butt, because I like the Butt deck. And then I'm going to go ahead and select my champion deck, which I have my roll build, I have my precision build. I'm going to go ahead and select that in, and then I can pick my weapon skin and my mount. So basically, it kind of reduced the amount of time you're in the lobby. You see I'm already hopping into the match right now. I've picked my deck for common, I've picked my deck for class, I've picked my weapon skin, I've got my mount selected, and I'm into match just like that. It's very quick.
So typically you're seeing what all the other people are playing.
Yes.
What your enemy team is doing.
Yes.
You know, what type of characters they have and what your team is doing. And then you pick the decks based on that, the two decks based on those combinations.
Correct. And you'll see that we've kind of updated a little bit the card presentation in the bottom right. Be able to use that. And we'll be continually iterating on this to make sure that it's a little more accessible to level up in match. And we're also reevaluating how you level up in match to see if there's other options to make that more simple as well. But
the leveling basically still stayed in for those cards.
That's
so
right.
you can press the leveling button to see the cards.
And then Drain Life, I just press F3, so Drain Life is now level 2. I got 15 HP on that blast shot when I hit people with the blast shot, which is cool. So this kind of limits or kind of simplifies a lot of the process and also allows you to spend unlimited amount of time in the main menu building your decks without pressure, no time limit. And then once you have your decks built and you're ready to go, you hop in the match, you select them. It's very straightforward.
Right. And wouldn't it be really nice if you can also auto level, which we'll put in one of the next patches?
That's right. So you could just,
'Cause I'm
even
looking
if you don't
forward to
like that, we can just allow you to set a priority for your cards and it'll auto level them every time you level up. Now there's one thing we didn't mention, Hi-rez.
What?
I have 20% on my ultimate right now.
Oh, a little bit of you're getting a little passive action.
That's right, a little passive action. So every 3 seconds or so, 3.5 seconds, your ultimate will get a % on it, and so your
just a
ultimate will
little bit.
naturally build up over
Yeah.
time. And this helps players who may not be playing a support role, not dealing damage, or away from the fight, making sure you're always kind of building up
And
that
sometimes
ultimate.
you get into that situation where you're like at 96%.
Oh, I know.
And you want to do your ultimate, but you can't engage because your health is
You're
too
waiting
low.
for the ultimate,
So then
or
you'll just wait on the side a little bit, and then you can
that's right, and you'll build it up. So
let
you
the
can see,
ultimate loose.
I'm already at 30%. I haven't fought anyone yet. So kind of this will bring up the pacing for the ultimates as well, and kind of bring that in. And this kind of
But
balances
it's just
it
a
out.
little. It's really
It's
a
not
fairly
fast.
low number.
Well, I mean, if you get one every 3 seconds, then it's going to take you 300 seconds to get your ultimate passively. That's a long time.
So 5 minutes
That's right.
for it to build up
By
passively.
itself.
Yeah.
In a 15 to 20 minute match, that's pretty slow, but it gives you a nice little boost if you're close, like you said, like 95%. It'll get you there.
It's
which is
very
nice. So that's
I've
the patch.
never had to wait on it.
No,
Usually
no,
you
no.
Just get it.
I run around.
I like to shoot things.
And also, we know, as we mentioned at the beginning of the stream, we're still working on new champions, we're working on new maps, and more cleanups for the UI and in-game kind of process. But this is really kind of the feel-good patch to kind of clean up some of the problems of like the slow match lobby, clean up the
Oh,
UI.
we
and
forgot
also
about something
fix it.
else.
What's that?
You know how people like to be rabbits a lot?
Yeah,
We don't like rabbits
no rabbits.
because rabbits jump up and down like
Yeah,
crazy.
you bunny hop a lot.
And does anybody like it?
I don't think anyone likes
A
it.
few
Peter Rabbit might.
Peter Rabbit. So what
Yeah.
did we do this patch?
So we actually cut the jump height in half. So you actually won't jump as high. So you can still jump and you still be able to effectively get on things and kind of travel through the map, but it prevents you from getting a strategic advantage from jumping. So you won't be able to jump over people or get that height. But we did something along with this to make it feel a lot better, considering the fact that if you lose the vertical escape and that kind of engagement, you want something else.
Well, then you might as well run a little faster.
Run a little, and a lot faster, actually. We've increased across the board every champion's movement speed by 15%, which is actually a lot when you think about it.
Yeah, and especially me, I like to get that passive card that gives
Right.
me another 20%.
Which now will scale more.
Man, I was running so fast on the
You were
map.
zoom Barrack.
I felt like I was just zooming around shooting things. It was
Right.
awesome.
So you picked a common deck that gave you movement speed, you built a class deck that gave you movement speed, and you get the boost of speed through the accelerator field, and you get the zoom Barrack build.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And actually feels a lot better too, because that means you can position better, you can get behind cover faster, and it allows you to feel more like a shooter.
And I think we've gotten it to the point where we feel like this the movement speed is good for a shooter type of game.
Yes.
So with this, you can get the cards to move you a little faster, obviously, but it felt really good. People were not jumping up and down like crazy because it wasn't helping that much.
Right.
We still have the intelligence of when you jump near
A wall.
something,
That's
it'll
correct.
pop you up so you can jump onto higher level things.
That's right.
But just in the middle of combat, it's not as useful to jump. Yeah, maybe sometimes. People
That's
will
right.
still jump sometimes, but it's not day and night like somebody's jumping
Right.
10 feet in the air.
You'll be able to get over onto things you need to get to. We didn't reduce the mount jump height as much, so you can still kind of get that airborne when you're on your
Right.
mount and jumping over walls. But when you're
Yeah,
actually
but you're
on
not
the ground
shooting
holding
that.
a weapon
Right.
and able to shoot, you can't jump as high, and that prevents the bunny hopping and bouncing around.
Right.
There's still some advantage you can get from using that, but it's not as big as it was before. And obviously before, we've kind of been a mixture between the two genres. We had a little bit of that MOBA movement speed, and picking up the pace actually feels a lot better.
Yeah. So, do you want to see if Twitch has any questions?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do a Q&A. Does anyone out there have any questions for us? If you do, kind of shoot it in chat. See if we can grab any that are available. When does this patch note go up into the servers? We'll be launching the patch notes probably later tonight or in the morning, and hopefully be able to get the patch out before the weekend at some point.
How does the jump affect Pip's weightless?
He still gets a big bonus.
But is he jumping a little less now?
A little less.
Okay.
And
So
we'll
jump a
look
little
at that
less.
from a balance perspective and see if he needs to jump higher or whatnot. And we'll be obviously evaluating over every patch that we launch.
Oh, comeback mechanics
Mm,
in the challenge mode.
yes, removed.
We did change that a bit.
Not entirely. The piece that we removed only from challenge mode is that you don't get any respawn penalty from destroying gates. So if
Right.
you're playing a scrim or a tournament match, there will be no penalty for destroying gates.
Right. So lower comeback mechanics
That's correct.
for the challenge mode, and later on for the ranked gameplay as well.
That's right. We also did reduce the frequency at which character voice lines are played. We got some reports that it was just too much chatter going on, so we reduced that frequency a bit so it feels a little less like they're talking too much. Which is pretty great.
Any other big things you can see on the list?
Yeah, I'm checking that out right now. Any questions you see?
It's scrolling a little too fast for me. The card system you still get the same way, right? So you tend to build up your common deck really fast.
Yeah.
And then you can just choose the to craft the cards for the particular
That's right.
character. And we are very generous with cards.
Yes,
we give
very
them out fairly
generous.
quickly, and therefore we have more waiting to getting the cosmetics, which is something that people
That's
have
right.
to spend more time earning than
That's
the
right.
cards. So it's a little bit in reverse of some games that would really try to be more of a pay-to-win type of scenario.
Right.
You get your cards fairly
The
easily.
gameplay comes
You
fast.
get your cosmetics. You have to work a lot harder for those.
That's right. And obviously, since in the previous patch we gave out the starter cards, which is the set of cards that every new account comes with, we're going to be shifting that in this patch to give you 5 free common cards and then 5 class cards for every character in the game. So you'll start out with a base deck that you can use. So when you make a level 1 Paladins account, you can pick a common deck and a character deck for every character and hop right into match, no problem.
And ranked, we think is going to come when? Like in the next,
Next few
30
weeks,
within the next 30 days, probably.
hopefully, yeah,
if all
within a
goes
month.
well.
Yep.
So for those of you that want to play a more structured,
Show how good you are.
competitive system, you'll have that coming soon enough. There's a few
Right.
other things that we're doing to the actual mode to make sure that
That's right.
it plays as well as possible.
We have the character factory going as well. We have our sniper character coming up shortly, and then we have potentially a revolver character after that.
Oh yeah, there's a few new characters.
A lot
that
of
will be
characters in the work.
interesting. The $100,000 tournament. When is the announcement for that coming in? That should be fairly soon, right?
Yeah, we're working on the details on that, but hopefully we'll have some more information to share soon.
Since I know when we're doing it, but we haven't talked about it yet.
That's right.
But
That's
it's the announcement will be coming relatively soon for that,
That's right.
because I saw a few questions on that.
Can you lower the amount of CP to buy skins?
Well, I think we're going to work towards having some cheaper
Mm-hmm.
skins that are more basic, but the current skins are staying where they're at.
And so obviously we'll have character skins and weapon skins and different rarities of those and cooler
Right.
ones that are a little more expensive.
Mastery skins. We will have some things for masteries. We don't know if there'll be skins
Skins or
yet
not,
or some
right.
icons or some other elements like that. So that's still in the works.
And just so you guys know, we also have removed some of the cards in this patch and added a bunch of new ones. And obviously, as we do with every patch, if you own a card that we removed, we'll give you from CP for the value of that card.
Also, in the challenge mode, I believe we're gonna be able to go through one of the 3 maps instead of just 1 map, right?
I don't know if that made it in.
Oh, okay.
I think it did. We're playing it for next packs at very least, to be able to select it specifically.
No, I'm talking about just a rotation, like an automatic
Yeah, I'm not
rotation.
sure. I
Okay.
don't want to make any promises.
Possible, maybe not.
Maybe not. We're aware of challenge matches and your guys' need to be able to select a specific map so you can practice for tournaments. We'll be adding that functionality very, very soon. We're working on new mounts. We have some ideas.
We're working on some.
Yeah.
The main thing is still characters at the moment.
Yeah, we want
Has the
characters in as
highest
fast
focus.
as possible.
Try to get a few more characters in the game and cards
That's
and
right.
balance. There will never be a heal beam weapon.
Right.
Right?
We don't want
So the
full.
question was,
We don't
will
want
there
full
be a
healers.
heal beam weapon? Will there be full healers?
That's right.
And there will not be a heal beam weapon because I hate that.
Yeah. So the question was, will there ever be a full support
I think
healer?
it ruined certain games.
Sure.
I think it was too overpowered in Global Agenda. It forced you to have
Yes.
healers with
It's
heal
a
beams.
necessity.
And it's only so much fun to run around behind somebody just like aiming at them the entire time with
Sure.
an auto aim. So, and we really are still not looking for a dramatic, I have to play certain roles.
Right.
So we're kind of trying to balance across the board with that.
That's right. We want to allow a lot of freedom in the character and team comp building. We'll leave that to the players to develop a specific meta, but we're not going to force you need to have a tank, a healer, and 3 damage or anything like that.
Right.
And we're also going to sprinkle support abilities across characters. There's not one character that you have to play because he's so good.
But we will give you more cards for certain champions to reinforce a particular champion build. So, for example, we'll add more cards to somebody like Brock that are healing related.
Yes,
So if you want to create a much more team-based healing
you can.
Brock, you will be able to do that.
Right, but that's not his only thing, and it's not going to be the end-all, be-all.
Right.
I heal everyone full.
Right. So
Yeah.
he'll have to create a build that'll be part of a comp if somebody wants
right.
a strong healer build in there, and it'll have 5 cards that relate to healing in some way.
That's right.
Will there be banning in ranked? There'll be probably some kind of banning in tournaments for
Yes.
maps or characters,
Or
but
cards,
or
maybe.
cards, but that's still in the works.
Yeah, so we'll still have to figure out how ranked will work. There's a lot of things you can do there, and obviously, with our low number of characters, we don't want to ban characters
Yeah,
too
not yet.
aggressively just yet. But when we have more, we will look at that option.
Will it be available for the max?
It's a good question.
Actually, eventually it might be.
It might be.
We are doing some Mac testing for Smite.
We're thinking about Mac
And
stuff.
if that ever works, then we'll probably move that to Paladins as well.
Sure.
Spectator is also something that's being worked on.
Yep.
That's the actual tech that was done for the
Kill cam?
for the kill cam system is going into the spectator mode because
Right.
the spectator to spectate people from first person needs to behave differently than the way Smite and some
That's
of the
right.
other games did in the third person. So that went in first because it required it, and now the spectator, the next system will be going in.
That's right. And obviously, with the kill cam system, we might be looking at maybe highlight reel or kill the game or something like that at the end of the match. Some fun
Right.
stuff. Are we going to add more stuff you can buy using in-game coins? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can we get Sobek? I don't know about that.
Nah.
All right. You think we gave enough information for today?
I think we did.
All right. Well, this is a fun patch,
It is.
and I think people will enjoy it. We'll need a lot of feedback from everyone
That's right.
on this patch, and then you should expect another patch next week, which should have Kinessa, if all goes well, which it's gone fairly well. We've been testing her fairly heavily.
Yep.
Followed by a lot more new content. So
A lot
thanks
more
for
new
tuning
content. We'll see you later.
in. Take care, everyone. We can
mean-
just fade away.
Should we do that talk show thing where we just like kind of jibber jabber to
Just-
each other?
No. What if we do the slow leave?
Oh, they float away.
Float away.
The Hulk
So,
ending?
Here we go.
Just walk off into the distance.